Well, I've now only got 15 hours and 10 minutes to convince you that you need to play Zoo, because in that time, Marvel Boy and Kyera will both be leaving the Spotlight Cache. Two cards that go incredibly well with the Zoo archetype. And here's the reason that you should play Zoo. Hopefully I convince you. It's just because it's good. I'll show you the deck that I've been running, but while the decks point up, just some data to hopefully convince you a little bit more. In my plane of this deck, you can see right here, I'm sitting between a 60 and 70% win rate. That's a combination of data from Untapped when I play on my PC, in addition to manually tracking games when I play on my phone. So that's why I get in the range of 60 to 70%. However, in addition to that, if you look at Untapped data for the last 30 days, games played with players collection level 6,000 and up, right, which is long-time players, from ranked 90 to infinite and then post-infinite, what decks are winning? What sorted by win rate? Which decks are winning the most? And it's funny. It's switched from this morning when I recorded my gameplay. I was looking at it, but Zoo is the number 5 deck and the 4th archetype. It's sitting behind 2 Surfer decks, a Wiccan deck, and then a discard deck. The discard deck just overtook it by 0.4% since this morning. Zoo was number 4, but now it's number 5. Nonetheless, still a very, very consistent deck. And people don't, in my experience, I don't play against Zoo very frequently. I don't play Zoo very much. And I think it's just because it lacks the wow factor, it lacks the pizzazz, which is really interesting because when I first played Marvel Snap way back in 2023, is that when it came out? Khazar, I thought, was one of the coolest cards in the game. And my combo was Khazar, Blue Marvel, and Ultron or Onslaught. And I would just play a bunch of one costs. That was my deck. A bunch of one costs, Khazar, Blue Marvel, Ultron, or Onslaught. And it worked out really, really well. It was a fun deck to play, and it performed well for me. Now, I've got some other cards, and I play it a little differently. It's also just a deck that I want to play. Like, is Hawkeye the best card in here? No, but I like Hawkeye. It's one of my favorite cards in the game for some reason, so I just included it. Right? This is a fun, reliable deck to play. Like the simplicity and the consistency of it makes it fun to play, and also just kind of working with it for what it is. So please go play Zoo. I also highly recommend Marvel Boy and Kyera as 2 reliable cards, 2 really great cards. I personally went, after playing Zoo a lot this morning, I decided, yeah, my keys are worth Kyera, and I went and rolled one more key for Kyera and got her. Glad I did. Excited to be using her moving forward, because the games that I lost in Zoo were mostly to Killmonger. He's not super prominent, and I'm also a little bit riskier in the way that I play, so I'm not sure if I would run Kyera all the time, but nonetheless, I can see the value of Kyera in a Zoo-style deck. Marvel Boy is great in Zoo. I've also really been enjoying him in this deck. This Agent Venom low-cost Thena-style deck that we've seen everywhere. This is just a fun version of it to play with Marvel Boy. But the Zoo deck, it's just been very consistent. Performed well for me. It's been a lot of fun. So please, go play Zoo. It's free cubes. It really, really is. It's a lot of fun. Enjoy the games. They were recorded this morning. I had to wake up really early this morning before work to squeeze in some games. So some of them are against bots because it was so early in the morning. Nonetheless, it still reveals the power and consistency of the deck because you're just putting down a lot of power. If you are missing some of these cards, because a lot of them are Series 5 cards, I'll give you some swaps at the end of the video that you could still make a really reliable Zoo deck and have a lot of fun with it. So that at the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, yeah. We're doing that again, especially. Look, we started again with Hawkeye.
Taking aim.
Especially knowing that we don't have to top deck a Squirrel Girl in there and have to do. Ooh, that's nice. Rip me. However, we won't be able to play a card there a second time, so that doesn't help. What's interesting is what Thanos Mill. No, hey, look at that. I think we're playing Blue Marvel into Ultron. Maybe it'll be Gilgamesh, see what we top deck. Oh yeah, that's nice. Repeat the discount on Thanos. Well,
Taking aim.
you potentially cooked yourself, buddy. Okay, well now we're more likely to top deck Gilgamesh. Which, do I want to do that? I can't play a card here. I can't win them all. They're probably playing Thanos there. Oh, we could do this. Then we've got to play Ultron to make this Pym arrow worth it. Unless I just go Pym here. Grapple into grapple. Oh, actually, even better. Pym arrow, grapple into Shauna. Oh, that was like the worst one cost we could have gotten, but oh well. They stole my squirrel pearl.
I want the throne.
I knew that was gonna happen. I actually thought that as soon as I saw Nova. I was like, hey, I'm getting a Killmonger. So, now we have a choice. They can't play Thanos Center. So we just focus on winning this location. That's where we have the most power. It's also where we're the most behind. Or we have the slow. Well, yeah, we've got a 3, but they could Shong us there. Especially because they have priority. I think this is the move over here. Just play for right. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to Shong the Mockingbird. No. Well, we would have lost either way. Interesting deck. Thanos destroy Milne. Ooh. Oh. I'm going to be so sad if I don't top deck something to play. Especially if I like top deck a Squirrel Girl and have to play her into Valhalla. But either way, even if I don't get the buff right now. You know, American Chop is another card that I really like. I literally called it. I'm gonna have a lot of squirrels. Let's get them out early, I guess. Ooh, that's smart. Is this Surfer? Buff Surfer? Going on? Oh. And what is this deck? Well, I'm gonna have squirrels roaming everywhere. So Mockingbird will be cheap. She'll go down to 2 power, or 2 cost. Why do people hate on Marvel Boy so much? Okay, now she's gonna go down to 1 cost.
Taking aim.
But now I'm cooking the Nexus, which is a major bummer.
Why do people hate on Red Guardian or on Marvel Boy? He's always the target. I guess I'll just go there. The bummer is I am so cooked here. You know, because I can Gilgamesh and Mockingbird next turn, but there's just not a lot of power happening. Yeah, I'm just getting beat out. That's technically more than Shauna's gonna be. Yeah. I'm probably gonna lose. Squirrel Girl was the wrong move. Should have just missed the buff on Hawkeye and got it later. However, a 10-powered Hawkeye is crazy. One of them is going to left. Or right, I mean. Which will be very helpful. Oh, we were so close. In fact, the negative 4 power from Red Guardian is what got us. Ooh, we love that. Let's go for the Squirrel Girl now, since we got Marvel Boy in hand. That's always nice.
Snap!
Sickness. Well, yeah. Put the Ant-Man with the unbuffed Squirrel Girl. Just or an unbuffed regular Squirrel. Am I a genius? Or am I a genius? Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah. Ow! Oh, good. No Gilgamesh so far. I think I'm gonna be saving Gilgamesh to play him left.
Wakanda forever!
They're gonna Zola it. Which will go up to 32. I'm gonna wait. Hoping for a Gilgamesh. Very much so. That's the last thing that I expected. So we're gonna get 25 power. Everywhere. Oh no, I was like, if they destroy it. If they Zola either one. I mean, this is adding the most power center. It won't beat a Black Panther center. This won't beat a Black Panther right. I don't think we have any other option, so let's just go with this. What is about to happen?
No strings on me.
I don't think I'm ready. Electro.
Venom.
Okay, so I did guess right on the Venom. Would you look at that? They weren't banking on the Ultron winning the Sanctum.
Victory.
Electro, that's interesting. I mean, I guess if you plan on destroying him. Ooh. That could be bad for us. This is an interesting deck. Potentially a destroy deck with Agony. That's really interesting, actually. That gets Mockingbird cheaper. Also, it's just Disruption. You know, only 1 power difference than Kate Bishop. Which they're not even playing into this location. I was like, Black Knight? That doesn't... Seriously. At 1 power. And we get our power back. The energy. That's what I'm talking about. Surfer deck, I'm assuming then. So we need to go very tall with Gilgamesh. Man, I was hoping this was going to be a 1 drop. However, we have 2 more turns. So we could go Hawkeye and Dazzler. Mockingbird, potentially. This is a Surfer. Yeah, abs, man, coming down. Dang it, no Dazzler. That would have been the best bet. Wait, can we beat this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 19 power. And they're going to add 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And they're up by 5. So we could potentially beat them. Oh, I forgot about Ant-Man going up too.
Victory.
So thank you for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate you being here. Let's give you some card swaps. So here's a deck that we've been playing with. I'm assuming, you know, Series 3 cards. Obviously, some Series 3 cards you won't have unlocked yet if you're Series 3 incomplete. I personally, Shauna was one of the last Series 3 cards I unlocked, believe it or not. But the Series 5 cards in here are obviously Mockingbird, Gilgamesh, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and then Marvel Boy. So I'll give you some swaps for those cards specifically. It could look something like this. So in swap of Marvel Boy, which I do recommend, you could go for Patriot, one, because their stat is the exact same, but also if you're going with this Ultron version, right? The deck that I mentioned that's in Untapped does not have Ultron. It has Kyera in place of Ultron, so you could go that route. However, I like Ultron. If you are going that Ultron route, Patriot makes a lot of sense. You don't want to turn this into a Patriot deck because it makes more sense as a Zoo deck, especially with the likes of Squirrel Girl. However, with that, if you are going the Patriot route with Ultron, instead of Shauna, I would go with Debris, because Debris's cards are going to be buffed by Patriot. They will also be buffed by Khazar. If you have Marvel Boy, they'll also be buffed by Marvel Boy, but also they have a little bit of disruption, because Patriot, while good, doesn't put as much power on the board as Marvel Boy does, and so the combination of the power he gives to the rocks, in addition to the disruption he gives, is kind of to offset the lack of power you're getting from Marvel Boy. Additionally, it helps with Dazzler, fill up those other locations, which ultimately Ultron will do as well. Crossbones is in place of a card like Gilgamesh or Mockingbird. Obviously, the idea is just playing high-powered cards and for cheap. Gamora is also a good swap for Gilgamesh. Another reason for Debris is it makes it easier to target your Gamora. So again, if you're specifically going this Patriot Gamora route, Debris is really helpful for the benefit of Patriot, but you can, because of your opponent being clogged, you can target your Gamora on turn 6 or turn 5 a little bit easier. The idea behind Crossbones, obviously he's one more power than Mockingbird, and obviously he doesn't discount, but still a 4 cost for 10 power isn't bad. If I had Cold Obsidian, I would include him in place of Cold Obsidian. However, I don't, so Crossbones is a similar idea. You're probably going to be winning a location by the time you'd want to play this card, so you can get out high power, again, in place of Gilgamesh, that type of thing. Gamora and Crossbones have the same power that Gilgamesh do, is that they can both be shonged. Mockingbird is free from that, which is nice. But nonetheless, this is a version of the deck that I would run. If I were doing this, I would actually switch out Hawkeye for a card like... I would go like this. Where's the card? I'd go for Martyr. I played a Zoo deck against a Zoo deck one time and they had Martyr in their deck, which just made a ton of sense. Because with cards like Debris and Ultron, your Martyr's not gonna, and Squirrel Girl, your Martyr's not gonna move, so it doesn't have that risk anymore. Additionally, depending on how you want to work things out, if you don't want to go this Onslaught route, because that's kind of an expensive deck now, you could swap out Onslaught for a Wasp or for a Shocker or a Misty Knight is probably the direction I would go. Just one more card to be able to be hit by Patriot and Khazar. Again, you could go for some other 1 costs that do some things, you could go for a Rocket Raccoon or an America Chavez or a Hawkeye, which gets to like 1/5. But if you look at Misty Knight, she's a 1/2. With the buff from Patriot, she goes to a 1/4, and then the buff from Khazar, she's also a 1/5, right? So, it's kind of, leaning into the Patriot playstyle there, but why not lean into the Patriot playstyle? So if I were missing those cards, I would personally do something like this. So there's the card swaps. Hopefully they're helpful. If I miss some of the cards that you would need to swap, just let me know in the comments, and I can help you work through it. I didn't mention it, but Onslaught is also a card you could swap out in place of Mockingbird, right? Obviously, it doesn't even remotely close to the same thing as Mockingbird, but stats-wise, it's almost the exact same. And then, of course, with this Patriot option, another ongoing card, we want to buff that up even more. So this deck could be a great version of a Zoo, even without Marvel Boy. If you do have Marvel Boy, make a little bit of, swap. If you've got Marvel Boy, okay, then get rid of Debris and put Marvel Boy in place of Patriot. And then put Shauna back in here. And then you could still do Gamora in place of Gilgamesh, that type of stuff. So, right, you just make those swaps as needs be, depending on what cards you have. Nonetheless, you've made it to the end of the video, and I really appreciate you watching. If you watched this far and you're not subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing. And if you like the video, if you leave a like. It really does help me and the video. So I appreciate that. But I appreciate every single one of you for watching. And have a great day.